Top 22 Celebrities That Went to Prison, 2025 updated. They were icons, superstars, household names. But behind the red carpets and flashing lights, a darker truth lurked. This is the story of 22 celebrities, your favorites perhaps, whose lives took a devastating detour, leading them from the pinnacle of fame to the stark reality of prison cells. Prepare for a journey into the shocking secrets and dramatic downfalls that shattered their public personas and redefined their legacies. From shocking crimes to stunning revelations, we expose the untold stories that will leave you breathless. This is the 2025 update on celebrity scandals you won't want to miss. Sean Diddy Combs. Music mogul. Sean Diddy Combs is embroiled in serious legal trouble, culminating in his arrest and jailing. Following a comprehensive federal investigation into allegations of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation for prostitution, authorities took him into custody in New York in September 2024. Prosecutors allege Combs leveraged his vast business holdings to control and exploit women for sexual purposes, a claim that sharply contradicts his carefully crafted public persona. Before his arrest, Combs faced multiple civil suits accusing him of sexual abuse and misconduct, including a highly publicized case involving his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. A 2016 video appearing to show Combs physically attacking Ventura sparked widespread outrage and further scrutiny of his behavior. Following the video's release, Combs issued an apology via Instagram, describing the incident as one of the darkest times in my life and expressing disgust at his own actions. Media coverage of the situation has been intense, with many commentators viewing the arrest as a dramatic fall from grace for the one-time hip-hop king. Combs is currently held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where conditions are reportedly harsh, marked by violence and negligence. His lawyers are fighting the charges, claiming they represent an unfair prosecution. These events have placed Combs at a personal and professional crossroads. He must now decide whether to seek redemption or continue down a path that could lead to decades in prison if he is found guilty. Danny Masterson. At a September 2023 sentencing hearing, actor Danny Masterson, famous for his part in That 70s Show, received a 30-year prison term for multiple rape convictions. Two former Scientologists accused Masterson of the assaults, which occurred between 2001 and 2003. The high-profile nature of the case stemmed from the seriousness of the accusations and Masterson's celebrity status. Judge Charlene Olmedo delivered a forceful denunciation at the sentencing, stating, "Your actions took away another person's voice and choice." This resonated with many as the victims bravely detailed their traumatic experiences before the court. One expressed regret for not reporting the assault sooner, while the other conveyed a sense of release, stating, "Your sickness is no longer my burden to bear." Masterson's lawyers maintain his innocence and plan to appeal, citing substantial trial errors. Public support, however, remains largely with the victims, with figures like Leah Remini publicly praising their courage. As Masterson begins his lengthy prison sentence, questions linger regarding potential rehabilitation and redemption, given the impact of his actions on his career, family, and the victims. Todd Chrisley. Around the end of 2022, reality TV star Todd Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best experienced a dramatic turn of events. A highly publicized trial resulted in a 12-year prison sentence for tax evasion and bank fraud, while his wife, Julie Chrisley, received a 7-year sentence. The court found the couple culpable of defrauding community banks of more than $30 million through falsified loan applications, all while portraying an opulent lifestyle on their television program. Upon entering federal prison camp Pensacola in January 2023, Todd Chrisley maintained his innocence. In a prison interview, he stated, "I feel I've been treated unfairly," while detailing the challenging prison environment and its emotional toll on his family and himself. Public reaction to the news was mixed, with many longtime viewers of the show expressing surprise at the gravity of the accusations against the Chrisleys. The Chrisley children have taken on increased responsibilities in the wake of their parents' incarceration, significantly altering the family structure. Even while serving his sentence, Todd Chrisley appears determined to reform, adapting to prison life with the goal of rehabilitation and an eventual return to his family and professional life. Elizabeth Holmes. The once lauded entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes, dubbed the next Steve Jobs, faced a dramatic fall from grace. Convicted in January 2022 on charges of fraud and conspiracy related to her blood testing startup Theranos, she received an 11-year prison sentence. Holmes had misled investors regarding the revolutionary technology her company purported to possess. The high-profile trial garnered significant media attention and fueled debate surrounding Silicon Valley's ethical practices. Holmes's troubles began when investigative reports revealed that Theranos' technology wasn't merely flawed, it was entirely non-functional. The company ultimately folded in 2018, leading to criminal indictments for Holmes and her business partner, Ramesh Sunny Balwani. At her sentencing, Holmes expressed profound regret, stating, "I regret my failings with every cell of my body," and including a quote from a poem about personal change. Upon commencing her sentence at a minimum security prison in Texas, Holmes faced the added emotional burden of separation from her young children, a consequence of her actions. Public reaction was divided between those who sympathized with her personal situation and those who felt she hadn't taken sufficient responsibility. Holmes's incarceration has ignited conversations about the possibilities of redemption and rehabilitation as she navigates life after the scandal that shattered her career. If you found this video interesting, drop an OK in the comments. Your feedback helps us grow and brings more content like this your way. Thank you very much. R. Kelly. The disgraced musician R. Kelly, formerly a prominent force in music, faced a dramatic fall from grace, culminating in a 2022 conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. His 30-year prison sentence, the result of years of accusations, became a major news story and sparked widespread public discussion. The trial revealed a disturbing history of exploitation and manipulation, highlighting how Kelly leveraged his celebrity status to take advantage of young women and girls. Although sex was certainly a weapon that you used, this is not a case about sex. It's a case about violence, cruelty, and control, stated U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly at the sentencing. Kelly's life before prison was marked by legal battles and scandal. His 2008 acquittal on similar charges seemingly emboldened him, allowing the abuse to persist for years. The rise of the South Me Too movement further amplified public criticism, bringing renewed attention to his behavior. Brave survivors shared their harrowing stories in court, detailing the emotional and physical trauma inflicted by Kelly's exploitative actions. Now incarcerated, Kelly's reality has drastically shifted. The once celebrated artist faces the repercussions of his crimes behind bars. His legal team described him as distraught over the sentence, equating it to a life sentence. Much of the media response expressed a sense of closure, with many viewing the conviction as long-awaited justice for years of predatory behavior. Kelly's future raises questions about rehabilitation and the possibility of redemption. While some speculate about his prospects, many survivors believe that justice has prevailed, marking a significant step in addressing sexual abuse within the entertainment world. Harvey Weinstein. During the Me Too movement's rise, Harvey Weinstein's 23-year prison sentence for sexual assault and rape in February 2020 became a landmark case. The charges against him, including third-degree rape of a hopeful actress and a criminal sexual act involving a production assistant, resulted in a conviction that illuminated Hollywood's pervasive sexual misconduct problem. This prompted global discussions regarding accountability. Weinstein's 2018 arrest followed the brave testimonies of numerous women, transforming him into a symbol of systemic abuse within the film industry. "I really feel remorse for this situation," Weinstein stated at his sentencing, while still maintaining his innocence on the specific charges. Life in prison presented difficulties for Weinstein, with reported health issues and public disdain. Media portrayals cast him as a pariah, reflecting society's demand for justice on behalf of sexual violence survivors. Even after recent legal victories overturning his New York conviction, due to claims of judicial prejudice, he remains incarcerated. Public reaction to Weinstein's imprisonment was largely positive, bringing a sense of closure to survivors. Yet, advocates expressed outrage at the overturned conviction, fearing it undermined the progress of the Nazi Me Too movement. As one accuser put it, "Today's news is not only disheartening but profoundly unjust, highlighting the continuing struggle for justice within a flawed system." Felicity Huffman. Years after the Varsity Blues scandal, the impact of Felicity Huffman's actions continues to resonate. The Desperate Housewives star's involvement began in March 2019 when she was implicated in the nationwide college admission scheme. Accused of paying a consultant $15,000 to inflate her daughter Sophia's SAT results, Huffman quickly faced federal charges related to mail fraud. In a Boston court in May 2019, Huffman pleaded guilty, expressing remorse for her choices. "I was frightened. I was stupid and I was wrong. I have inflicted more damage than I could ever imagine." A judge handed down a sentence of 14 days imprisonment, a $30,000 fine, and 250 hours of community service. Huffman's brief incarceration began on October 15, 2019, at the Federal Correctional Institution in Dublin, California. Released after 11 days due to facility protocols, media reports depicted her time there as less harsh compared to other prisons. Public reaction to the actress's involvement ranged from understanding of a mother's desire to help her child to outrage at her exploitation of privilege and a sense of entitlement. Following her release, Huffman sought to make amends by working with groups that assist formerly incarcerated women. "They heal one woman at a time, and you heal the community," she stated, explaining her motivation. Reflecting on the experience, Huffman admits the weight of her decisions still affects her significantly. "I know hindsight is 20/20, she commented, acknowledging the flawed nature of her attempts to secure her daughter's educational advancement. Suge Knight. Death Row Records co-founder Marion Suge Knight's journey culminated in a 28-year prison term for voluntary manslaughter following a series of unfortunate events. On January 29, 2015, a heated altercation outside Tam's Burgers in Compton, linked to the movie Straight Outta Compton, led to Knight running over two men with his vehicle. This resulted in Terry Carter's death and severe injuries to Clee Bone Sloan. Knight surrendered to authorities the following day and faced initial murder charges. To avoid a potential life sentence in a murder trial, Knight entered a no-contest plea to voluntary manslaughter in September 2018. While the victim's family expressed their sorrow during the sentencing, Knight remained largely impassive. The controversial nature of the case, amplified by media scrutiny, was highlighted by his attorney's statement. "I feel strongly that Mr. Knight did not do anything wrong." Knight's incarceration dramatically altered his life and career trajectory. His once prominent status in the hip-hop world became overshadowed by a reputation for violence and controversy. Public reaction was divided, with some expressing sympathy for his difficult past, while others believed his fate was justified. Though Knight has hinted at seeking redemption, the road ahead is arduous as he navigates life behind bars. O.J. Simpson. From celebrated football star to convicted felon, O.J. Simpson's life has been a series of dramatic shifts and heated controversies. Though found not guilty in the 1995 criminal trial for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, a 1997 civil suit held him liable for their deaths, significantly impacting his public image. A key turning point came with his 2007 arrest in Las Vegas on charges of kidnapping and armed robbery. Simpson maintained he was merely retrieving personal memorabilia he believed had been stolen. His subsequent 2008 trial resulted in a conviction and a substantial 33-year prison sentence. He served 9 years in Nevada before receiving parole in 2017. Reflecting on his time behind bars, Simpson stated, "I thought I was a good guy, but I could have been a better Christian." This statement hints at the internal conflict he wrestled with while incarcerated. His imprisonment revived public scrutiny, prompting widespread discussion about how a once-admired athlete could fall so far from grace. Upon release, Simpson hoped to rebuild a normal life, but found public and media attention had largely moved on. His efforts to rehabilitate his image were hampered by the shadow of his past. The media's ongoing fascination with his life ensured O.J. Simpson continued to be a figure of both public fascination and contention well beyond his release from prison. Jared Fogle. Subway's former spokesperson, Jared Fogle, fell from grace spectacularly, resulting in his incarceration for crimes related to child pornography and sex trafficking. A 2015 federal investigation revealed his illegal activities, which included crossing state lines for sexual encounters with minors and possession of child pornography. Fogle entered a guilty plea to these charges, and in November 2015 received a 15-year prison term, a stark contrast to his prior celebrated status as a weight loss inspiration and health icon. The investigation into Fogle commenced after the arrest of Russell Taylor, an associate, which triggered an FBI probe. Fogle admitted to obtaining illicit materials from Taylor and soliciting sex from underage girls, even offering payment for connections to younger victims. "I had become dependent on alcohol, pornography, and prostitutes," Fogle stated during sentencing, acknowledging his wrongdoing and expressing remorse. The public reacted swiftly and harshly, with Subway immediately terminating its relationship with Fogle after the accusations arose. Media portrayals presented him as a cautionary figure, underscoring the striking difference between his previous public persona and his criminal actions. While serving his sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution in Inglewood, Colorado, Fogle has pursued treatment to address his compulsive behaviors. From prison, Fogle contemplated his decisions, writing, "I really royally screwed up to wind up where I am." His story exemplifies the potential repercussions of unchecked privilege and the arduous path towards redemption in the face of profound shame. Michael Jace. In 2014, actor Michael Jace, known for his role as Officer Julian Lowe in the television series The Shield, tragically murdered his wife, April Jace, resulting in a 40 years to life prison sentence. The incident, witnessed by their 2 young sons, unfolded in their Los Angeles home, culminating in Jace shooting April 3 times during a heated argument regarding divorce. The high-profile nature of the case stemmed from Jace's celebrity and the disturbing details of the crime. During the trial proceedings, the jury heard the heartbreaking account of Jace's 10-year-old son, who recounted his father's words, "If you like running, run to heaven," before shooting his mother. Upon receiving his sentence on June 10, 2016, a remorseful Jace stated, "There is absolutely no justification for my actions on that night. I am profoundly sorry for the pain that I've caused everyone." The consequences of Jace's imprisonment were far-reaching, shattering his family and ending a promising career. Public reaction ranged from outrage over the crime to sympathy for the children involved. While incarcerated, Jace has reportedly sought atonement by reflecting on his actions, but his legacy remains a complex and controversial example of Hollywood's narrative of rise and fall. Wesley Snipes. In 2006, action star Wesley Snipes, renowned for his role in the Blade trilogy, faced serious legal trouble when he was indicted on tax evasion charges. Misinformed by his accountant and an anti-tax advocate, Snipes failed to file tax returns for 6 consecutive years, believing income tax to be illegal. This resulted in an almost $7 million tax liability between 1999 and 2004, leading to a 2008 conviction on 3 misdemeanor counts of failure to file. His trial became a media spectacle, portraying a famous actor grappling with the legal system. While acquitted of felony charges, Snipes received a 3-year federal prison sentence, commencing in December 2010 at McKean Federal Correctional Institution. He served his time and was released early in April 2013 for good behavior. Reflecting on his incarceration, Snipes remarked, "I came out a clearer person, clearer on my values and purpose." The prison experience forced him to confront the consequences of his choices and the precious time lost with loved ones. Public reaction was mixed, ranging from disappointment to empathy for his predicament. Following his release, Snipes returned to acting, featuring in films like Dolomite Is My Name and Coming to America. He reemerged not just as someone who overcame legal adversity, but also as a person striving for atonement and deeper meaning in both his professional and personal life. DMX. Known for his intense and emotionally charged music, rapper DMX's life was significantly marked by legal troubles and periods of incarceration. His criminal history encompassed a wide range of offenses, from driving violations and drug possession to impersonating a federal officer and weapons charges. Multiple jail terms, including stays in 2010, 2013, and 2015, punctuated his career, with his last imprisonment stemming from unpaid child support. Even before his time behind bars, DMX's life was riddled with controversy. His struggles with substance abuse and run-ins with the law frequently overshadowed his musical achievements. Reflecting on his prison experiences during an interview, he stated, "I went to jail to spread the word of Jesus," suggesting a search for spiritual solace amid personal struggles. Public perception of DMX vacillated between admiration and condemnation. While his raw talent and genuine artistic expression garnered praise from many, others focused on his criminal behavior, perpetuating negative stereotypes about hip-hop artists. Following his releases from prison, DMX often sought rehabilitation, stressing the importance of self-improvement and humility. He once remarked, "It's the tough things that we go through that get us to that point where we're better and stronger than we've ever been." Though his repeated incarcerations had profound consequences on both his career and personal life, these experiences also shaped his artistic output. DMX's music drew heavily from his struggles, resonating deeply with listeners who saw him as an embodiment of perseverance. His death in 2021 left behind a complex legacy interwoven with both hardship and inspiration. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.'s life, marked by both immense success and devastating struggles with addiction, offers a powerful testament to human resilience. His iconic role as Iron Man contrasts sharply with a tumultuous past involving substance abuse and multiple arrests throughout the 1990s, culminating in a 1999 prison sentence of 3 years for repeated violations of drug-related probation. One notorious incident involved his arrest for speeding while possessing heroin, cocaine, and an unloaded gun. Downey later reflected on his year-long incarceration, calling it the worst thing that happened to him, likening the experience to residing in a really bad neighborhood amongst violent offenders. Yet, paradoxically, this harsh reality forced him to confront the depth of his addiction. Released early after serving only a year, Downey faced further challenges. His marriage dissolved, and he was dismissed from Ally McBeal. This low point became a turning point. He embarked on a path of self-improvement, finding sobriety by 2003 through disciplines such as meditation, yoga, and kung fu. His subsequent comeback is nothing short of remarkable. He not only rebuilt his personal life, but also achieved phenomenal career success, becoming one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. His insightful words, "Remember that just because you hit bottom doesn't mean you have to stay there," encapsulate his journey. It's a story not just of overcoming addiction, but of unwavering determination and profound personal growth. See you next. If you like this video, please leave a number 9 in the comments below. Phil Spector. The music producer Phil Spector, famous for his innovative wall of sound, fell from grace dramatically, culminating in his imprisonment. His career, marked by both groundbreaking achievements and erratic behavior, was overshadowed by a history of violence. On February 3, 2003, Lana Clarkson, an actress, died from a gunshot wound at his home. Spector maintained it was a suicide, a claim disputed by prosecutors who highlighted his volatile personality and fondness for guns. A 2007 trial ended inconclusively with a hung jury. However, a subsequent trial in 2009 resulted in a second-degree murder conviction, sentencing him to 19 years to life. Given his age and the severity of the sentence, many believed his release unlikely. Despite considerable evidence against him, Spector consistently asserted his innocence, declaring, "I did not kill Lana," until his death in January 2021. Spector's trials captivated the public and media with his unusual courtroom demeanor, including his distinctive headwear, generating considerable attention. His confinement stood in stark contrast to his earlier life of fame and recognition. Appeals were unsuccessful, leaving a tragic legacy: a supremely talented producer whose life ended in disgrace, a complex narrative of artistry intertwined with violence and tragedy. Martha Stewart. In 2004, Martha Stewart, a celebrated businesswoman and lifestyle icon, faced a severe setback following her insider trading conviction. The scandal ignited after the sale of $230,000 in IM-clone stock shortly before the FDA's rejection of Erbitux, their cancer drug. This preemptive action prevented a potential $45,073 loss, sparking suspicions of illicit activity. Although Stewart maintained her innocence, claiming a pre-existing order to sell below $60, she was found guilty of perjury and conspiracy. A 5-month prison sentence, followed by 5 months of house arrest and 2 years of probation, was imposed on July 16, 2004. A $30,000 fine and restrictions on her business management were also part of the penalty. Her previously untarnished reputation suffered immensely. The domestic icon became a focus of media scrutiny and public disapproval. Reflecting on her incarceration, Stewart later commented, "There is no real help. No way to be prepared for life out there." However, she persevered, determined to rebuild her brand. Following her release, Stewart's remarkable resilience was evident in her successful business resurgence. A gradual shift in public perception occurred as her television appearances resumed, reconnecting her with loyal followers and significantly restoring her prior status. James Brown. The legendary James Brown, the godfather of soul, faced a major turning point in December 1988. Years of personal battles with addiction and erratic behavior culminated in a dramatic high-speed chase through Georgia and South Carolina. The pursuit began after an incident at an insurance seminar, where he allegedly brandished a shotgun. The chase ended when police disabled his car, leading to his arrest on charges including assaulting a police officer, driving under the influence of PCP, and unlawful firearm possession. Brown claimed police brutality during his apprehension, stating, "A policeman began kicking the vehicle door. I was in fear for my life." Despite these allegations, he received a 6-year prison sentence, serving just over 2 before his 1991 parole. Reflecting on his time in prison, Brown surprisingly viewed it as a period of necessary reflection and reorganization. His return to the stage after release was a more measured affair. While many fans welcomed his comeback, others remained skeptical given his past actions. The media portrayed a highly dramatic fall from grace, but Brown sought to regain his image, focusing on becoming a positive influence on young people. He declared, "I want to be a positive role model. I love humanity." This period of struggle and resilience added a powerful chapter to the life story of this musical icon. Michael Vick. The trajectory of Michael Vick's career, from celebrated NFL quarterback to convicted felon and subsequent advocate against animal cruelty, offers a nuanced exploration of public disgrace and the often difficult path toward redemption. A 2007 scandal exposed his participation in a cruel and extensive dogfighting operation involving illegal gambling and the intentional killing of dogs that failed to meet performance expectations. This led to federal charges, resulting in a 23-month prison sentence in Kansas, due to the interstate nature of the crime. While prior legal issues such as a 2005 lawsuit alleging the transmission of herpes had garnered attention, the dogfighting case overshadowed everything else. During his sentencing hearing, Judge Henry E. Hudson delivered a scathing rebuke, characterizing Vick's actions as cruel and inhumane, and underscoring the importance of accountability. Vick himself expressed remorse, stating, "I need to grow up. acknowledging the damage he had caused his family and fans. His time in prison, however, proved pivotal. Following his 2009 release, he dedicated himself to rebuilding his life and making amends. The Philadelphia Eagles gave him a chance to return to the NFL, and his remarkable comeback earned him the league's Comeback Player of the Year award in 2010. Despite ongoing public scrutiny and conflicting opinions, Vick committed to using his platform to actively combat dogfighting and support legislation aimed at ending such brutality. His journey highlights the complexities of personal responsibility, the arduous process of rehabilitation, and the potential for positive change, even after egregious acts of cruelty. Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle Rodriguez, celebrated for her powerful portrayals in action films like the Fast and Furious franchise, has navigated significant personal challenges, particularly legal difficulties. A 2002 assault charge was dismissed, but subsequent DUI convictions led to several brief jail stays between 2004 and 2007. In 2007, a 180-day sentence for probation violation was reduced to 18 days due to jail overcrowding in Los Angeles County. Reflecting on these struggles, she aptly stated, "I'm a work in progress," acknowledging the impact of substance abuse on her behavior. Despite these setbacks, Rodriguez maintained a successful acting career. Her incarceration spurred introspection and a desire for personal growth. While often portrayed in the media as a troubled actress, she demonstrated remarkable resilience, committing to positive change after her release. Public reaction was mixed, with some criticism but also understanding of her journey. Rodriguez's experiences have profoundly shaped both her personal life and her career choices, often leading her to portray strong female characters who overcome adversity. Her continued success in Hollywood underscores the fact that past mistakes do not define one's future. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, once dubbed the baddest man on the planet, experienced a dramatic fall from grace following his 1992 rape conviction. The incident stemmed from an encounter with Desiree Washington, an 18-year-old Miss Black America pageant contestant, at Indianapolis's Canterbury Hotel. Washington's subsequent sexual assault accusation resulted in a highly publicized trial that captivated the nation. Despite maintaining his innocence, Tyson was found guilty and sentenced to 6 years imprisonment, ultimately serving 3 before his 1995 parole. His incarceration at the Indiana Youth Center proved transformative. He converted to Islam, adopting the name Malik Abdul Aziz, and devoted himself to self-improvement, learning, and spiritual exploration. Reflecting on his prison years, Tyson remarked, "You have to understand, those guys would not have been champions if I had been around," acknowledging the ripple effect of his absence on both his own life and the boxing world. Post-incarceration, Tyson attempted a boxing resurgence with some successes, yet continued legal issues and intense public scrutiny persisted. Media reactions to his comeback were mixed, with some celebrating his return to the ring, while others remained critical of his past. Ultimately, Tyson's prison experience profoundly shaped his life, a period of profound hardship and eventual redemption that indelibly impacted his personality and career trajectory. Mark Wahlberg. 16-year-old Mark Wahlberg's life took a drastic turn in Boston, following his involvement in racially charged assaults. On April 8, 1988, while under the influence of PCP, Wahlberg assaulted Thanh Lam and Johnny Trinh, 2 Vietnamese men, employing a wooden stick and hateful racial slurs. This resulted in attempted murder charges. Though initially sentenced to 2 years, he served only 45 days. Wahlberg later characterized this as a pivotal moment, attributing his subsequent transformation to the support of family and guidance from mentors. Public response to Wahlberg's past has been mixed, with some condemning his violent history while others emphasize his later accomplishments as an actor and producer. A 2014 attempt to receive a pardon for these crimes ignited controversy and accusations of hypocrisy, prompting him to withdraw the request amidst public criticism. Post-incarceration, Wahlberg dedicated himself to philanthropic endeavors, notably through the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation, aiming to guide at-risk youth. a 2016 meeting with Trin where Wahlberg apologized, and Trin's subsequent public forgiveness underscored the complexities of redemption. Wahlberg's story powerfully illustrates the intricacies of personal transformation and societal acceptance. As he has stated, "I want people to remember my past so that I can serve as an example of how lives can be turned around." His journey serves as a compelling case study in the challenges inherent in the pursuit of redemption. So ends the shocking saga of 22 celebrities whose paths to prison shattered their public images and forever altered their lives. Their stories, a mix of cautionary tales and compelling narratives of redemption, leave us pondering the complexities of fame, justice, and the human capacity for both immense success and devastating failure. From the heights of Hollywood to the depths of incarceration, their journeys raise profound questions about accountability, forgiveness, and the enduring search for meaning, even behind bars. What will become of these fallen stars? The answer, like their futures, remains uncertain.